Hey everyone, welcome back to another Elden Ring video. I hope that everybody is having an absolutely fantastic day, and I hope that you guys are enjoying playing Elden Ring as well. But in today's video, I want to go over my vampire build, which is really good at killing enemies, and it's insane at health regeneration as well. So hopefully you can avoid it taking a lot of the health flasks in order to actually help you out, because this build is designed to kill any enemies and give you HP back. And also we're going to be using great runes, so we're going to be using some rune arcs in order to just touch enemies and start hitting them and getting HP back as well. There are a couple additional things that you could potentially change around if you really want to, but it's all going to be revolving around HP, or if there's blood in the vicinity or successful attacks or successive attacks, it's going to raise your attack power. Now, in this specific build that you guys are currently seeing on the screen, I am using 3 weapons. I'm using the Rivers of Blood, which is going to be a later game weapon, the Blasphemous Blade, which you can get from Volcano Manor, and then I'm using the Uchigatana, which I've made it a Blood Uchigatana, which you can actually go ahead and find in Limgrave right at the beginning of the game if you don't already have it. Now, I'm not able to currently dual wield this. I would love to be able to try that, but unfortunately I didn't start the game as a samurai, so I'm gonna have to wait till my new game plus in order to be able to see what kind of combinations I can come up with. Now, I'm not going to get into all the different variables that are allowed inside of the game. There are a few different changes that could easily be done if you want to make this build even that much better. But each of the weapons that I'm using with their special abilities makes this very universal and honestly very effective in almost any situation that I've been presented. I have been using this build in the Mountaintops of the Giants. I made this while I was in the Mountaintops of the Giants, and I really like it. I've gone into all the catacombs, I've gone into all the secret areas that I can get into, or at least that I have found so far with this build, and I really haven't had too many difficulties. Now, the one thing that I'm not really going to cover in today's video is specific incantations, because unfortunately there aren't really that great of incantations when it comes to blood builds within inside of Elden Ring. If you want those, they kind of suck. I hope that they actually fix these, because I've tried them all and they just don't seem to do any damage, especially the NPCs up in the Mountaintops of the Giants. But if you guys have any questions or different suggestions about this build, by all means go ahead and leave a comment down below. But let's go ahead and get into kind of what the build is and kind of why I really want this, why I recommend that you guys try it. This is a bleed damage build. It's all kind of designed around that. The more bleed, more damage that you inflict, the more HP you're going to get back, and the more attack power is going to be raised. There are 2 talismans that you can potentially add to this build that will allow it to be better in the very end game. I don't have them yet because I am in the Mountaintops of the Giants, and I'm about to actually go into the tree, and I'm also about to go to the final stage of the game, and I plan on using this in that. Now, my character level is over 200. I put a lot of time and energy and hopefully the right stats in order to make this build the best that I possibly can. I probably could put a little bit more into Arcane, to be completely honest, but it is what it is. So anyway, let's go ahead and kind of get into everything right now, so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So let's go ahead and take a look at the equipment that I'm using. We already talked about the different weapons. I'm using the Black Knife armor. I'm just going to quickly go over this, and I'm using this so that I am 100% silent when I am running around. I can actually run up right behind enemies, no problem. It even says that if you read the description that you're silent at all times. So unless you're coming from them line of sight, then they will not hear you whatsoever, and that's why we're using the Black Knife armor. Now, on my Blood Uchigatana, I am using Bloodhound Step in order to get in and out of situations very quickly, and I love it. This way, if you happen to be at a heavy load and have a lower endurance and stamina possibility, then you can still use this, which I absolutely love. This thing I use way more than I would with Rolt, even though I'm currently at a medium load. This thing is awesome, takes very little cost for the FP to go ahead and use, and it's amazing to dodge incoming attacks. And as soon as you have an attack, you dodge out, and then you can dodge right back in, slice, and then dodge. You just keep doing that, and that's how you're going to do tick damage. And then obviously you have the Blasphemous Blade, so you can take out a group of enemies. That's probably my only downfall with the current build, is I don't have access to everything yet. Is when I get surrounded, then a lot of damage can be done to me really quickly. But if I break out the Blasphemous Blade and use the Taker's Flame, I can clear out everybody very, very, very quickly. And by using the Taker's Cameo, when I kill those enemies, then I will get HP back. Plus, I'm also using Record's Great Rune. And when I consume a Rune Arc, I'm getting HP back every time that I inflict damage upon enemies. The other thing that we're using is the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, and that's going to be if there's blood loss in the vicinity, we're causing a lot of blood. The vicinity, we're going to increase the attack power. And the same thing goes with this one. This is going to raise attack power with successive attacks. And the same thing with the Godsend Swimming Cloth, but the more successive attacks that we have will restore more HP. So more HP that we're getting, the more successive attacks that we have, the more damage that we're actually outputting, which is what we want. So we're doing bleed, getting HP, and causing more damage by doing those things in one specific area with these specific weapons. Now, the reason that I really do like the Rivers of Blood, it is very, very quick. It applies a blood damage power attack right away, which is really nice. And if you can do some really cool combinations with it, and it is incredibly fast. You can see that the blood loss buildup on this one is 52. The Blood Katana, or Uchi Katana, is better at 79. And then we have the Blasphemous Blade, which is obviously no blood damage. But a ability, even if you're two-handing one of your main weapons and having this in the offhand, then you can still apply to give you HP when you kill enemies on top of having just the Taker's Cameo, which is amazing. So lots of HP should be being able to be restored to you as long as you are avoiding as many incoming attacks as possible. Now, I'm not currently running a shield, but you could use really whatever shield that you want. The one that I would use in my situation is one of two shields. I have a red shield because I just thought it looked really cool with my build, but ultimately I would decide on one that does blood damage. So we're looking at pretty much any of these. Otherwise, this is considered probably one of the best shields in the entire game. It will block anything. And I have it mostly loaded out, but if I use this one, then it obviously causes me to be at a heavy load just because of me using the Blasphemous Blade as well. And it's super heavy at the 13.5 for the weight, whereas this still keeps me at a medium load. It does a really good job. It's a plus 18, and it protects me against most things. I probably will get rid of the Golden Parry. I suck at the timing with that thing, so I might as well use something a little bit different. And if I can find something that allows me to apply bleed, then I might as well go ahead and do that. But let's go ahead and talk about where all this stuff can go ahead and be found. Let's start with the Black Knife armor set. And that's going to be just found in a town of Ordina, which is going to be located in the mountaintops of the Giants, which can be found right here. If you go to the bridge area, back here, there's some arches below. If you go to one of the arches below the actual bridge itself, which will actually take you to the tree above, then you can find this set. When you go to this town, you don't even have to attack anything. You just, once you actually make it there, get to the site of Grace right here, you'll be able to get to it really, really easy. And it was like the first thing that I went after once I unlocked the secret area. Now, if you don't know how to unlock the secret area, you need 2 halves of a medallion in order to do that. So you have to take out the main boss here at Castle Sol and get to the very top there. And then the other one is going to be found at the village of the Elben. It's going to find a guy in a barrel. You'll find the barrel first, and then you have to tap the barrel, and then he'll give it to you once you continue his dialogue. Lots of videos that are out on that. The next spot that we're going to quickly talk about, which will be Volcano Manor. 2 things can be done here. Taker's Cameo can be given to you once you complete all 3 assassinations that are going to be presented by Tanith, which is going to be the lady of the manor, so to speak. and they're easily identifiable on the map. Just go to those locations. You're going to invade NPC's world, kill them, bring them back, and each time that you bring one back, you're going to get an award. There's also another guy in this area that you can talk to do an assassination with, and he want to team up with you in the capital at Lindell. So go there, finish his quest, make sure you do that before turning in the third one. And you can't complete the third one anyway until you go to the mountaintops of the giants. And some of the things that we're going to be showing even in the rest of this video, you can't have until you go to the mountaintops of the giants anyway. Blasphemous Blade can actually be get when you defeat Rykard here. You get one of two options, and then you can obviously duplicate your ashes by going to one of the mausoleums. But the sword is probably my preferred one, and then that's the one that I'm using. And then you can go ahead and level it up from there. Now, the Rivers of Blood cannot be found until you get over to the mountaintops of the giants, and this is actually pretty far out of the way. It's at the Church of Repose, and there's an NPC that will invade you, kill them. You're going to get an armor set and this weapon as well. Love this weapon. It is really, really quick. I love its special ability, but sometimes my timing to be able to switch to my Uchi Katana to be able to get out of there fast enough is where I kind of struggle with personally. But I'm sure that people that are better at this game than I am, like you guys, will be able to more effectively be able to wield this dual and triple combination of the weapons that I'm currently using. Now, as far as the seal goes, you can use really whatever seal you really want. The gravel stone seal, I found this in the capital. It's in the round table hold area, or the mimic of it, or the original one. Nobody really seems to know. So you can go there, grab this thing, and that's all you really need. But any seal should work. But the reason that I'm using this one specifically is it increases the Dragon Cult incantations, which is going to be my lightning ones. And then the rest of the stuff I'm pretty much using fire. But from time to time, I change this around and just use whatever I feel is going to help me in that specific situation. Obviously, do the same thing for you guys. Now, we already talked about the Taker's cameo. We already talked about these. You can get the Uchi Katana from Limgrave. And let's see if I can remember which one it is off the top of my head. Or I think it was this one. I don't remember. This one right here. I think you can get it from Murkwater Cave, I believe. Let me double check that. And I was wrong about that. That's actually in the Touched Catacombs. So you can find that right here. It's going to be sitting on a ledge when you go into those catacombs. The Lord of Blood's Exaltation is probably the hardest one to get because it's going to be in the sewer system and the cave area of the capital, which honestly there's a ton of different secrets down here, but if you can make it down to the catacombs itself, then this is where you need to be. You're going to defeat the end boss, which is going to be the Priest of Blood. Can't remember his name, like Edgar maybe. I think is his name. Once you defeat that NPC, then you'll be awarded this talisman. So just go ahead and make your way through all of this, but it definitely takes a while to do it. You're going to start here at the Avenue balcony, and then you're going to run over here, and there's an entrance in there. Then you're going to go through a grate, and then you have to start making your way and figuring out. You will get lost. It is insane how many tunnels there are in this place. And then once you start opening up more things, hopefully you'll be able to figure out relatively quickly. But there's a ladder. Once you get kind of into that first room, go down the ladder and then jump down below. There's going to be 2 lobsters at the bottom, and then make your way through a wall. And then there's going to be this site of grace right here that you can go ahead and touch and be able to synchronize with, and then just continue throughout the rest of the catacombs and the rest of the sewer areas. You'll find a lot of stuff, so I highly recommend that you explore it anyway. The next one is going to be the Winged Sword Insignia. Raises the attack power with successive attacks. This one will be found in Stillwater Cave, I believe it's called. I know where it's at. It's this one right here, Stillwater Cave. You have to go to the very end, and it's going to be a clean rot knight that you're going to have to defeat. So you can actually get to this relatively quickly. You just make your way down here and then get down into the water area and then just come over here. Easy peasy. This one, I don't remember it being very long to get through or even that difficult, but I think I did this one a little bit later in the game. The last one on my list is going to be the Godskin Swindling Cloth. I will talk about one other one. This one will have successive attacks, will restore your HP. So go ahead and you're going to head down to Mountaintops of the Giants, so not down, but up. And you're going to go to the Spirit Caller's Cave. This will require you to have a stone sword key in order to enter. And then you're going to find a few different goodies inside of there. But you're going to find it before you even get to the main boss. So if you only want that, then you can get in and get out, and you can have that specific talisman. Now, the last one that I'm going to talk about is Millicent's quest line. Eventually, she's going to end up in this area. You have to basically kill her, so if you don't really want spoilers, I'm sorry. But you have to get up into this area in order to do this, so that's what I plan on doing. And that specific one will allow you to boost your dexterity, and it also increases your attack power with successive attacks. So you can see exactly how we're building up all of the different types of the build with the specific talisman. But if you guys have any suggestions to make this a little bit better, by all means, go ahead and leave a comment down below. But if this video does help you guys out and you choose to use this vampire build, by all means, let me know also. But if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it. And you guys stay gaming.